Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know that it's been quite a while, but I just have had a lot going on in the new year, trying to focus on myself and my resolutions and everything, and I hope you're all doing the same. So I'm just breaking up the videos a bit and doing it when I really have time to invest in the videos and when I really feel like I'm going to make a good video. I don't want to just make videos just to make videos. I want to make sure that they're good content and helpful, or at least enjoyable. So today I am going to do an eyebrow tutorial and just talk a little bit about the products I use, the brushes I use, and how I do my brows and what I like to do every day and that kind of thing. So I hope this is helpful and I hope you also enjoy it. If you do, give it a thumbs up and also subscribe if you want to go on this little journey with me. Thanks guys, let's get into it. Okay, as you can see, I don't have my brows done, so I will do them for you on camera and kind of take you through. I'll do a powder brow and then I'll do a pomade brow, just so you can see the difference and if I do anything different with those two techniques, and then I'll kind of finish in the pomade brow into the original powder brow because it will just look weird. But really quickly, I'll just go over a few things. So brushes I like to use. First and foremost, always a spoolie. You have to have one. I'm not saying it has to be like the most expensive thing in the world. This is from e.l.f. I think this is $1, just to be able to brush them up, brush them down, brush them in place, that kind of thing. For powder, I am adamant, for me at least, I am most comfortable with a flat, thin brush, just like that. So I hope you can see that. This is from e.l.f. This is $3. So very thin. I just find that this works fastest for me for powder. It picks up enough powder. It also places it nice and neatly. For pomades, I like angled brushes. And so I'll undo this. So one is like Wet n Wild. This is $1 at the drugstore if you can find it. And let me tell you something, these Wet n Wild brushes that are white and pink are absolutely wonderful. I have no problems with them. So there's an angled one. And then obviously Anastasia Beverly Hills sells, some of the best brow products. And so this one has a spoolie on the end. I think this is like 12 or 18, but you can also get it in a kit with a couple other things, their eyebrow gel and their powder, for $30 total. So I think that's kind of a steal. So it's very thin, angled, and angled brushes for me work best with wetter formulas, where the flatter ones work better with the drier, like the powders. Two other tools that I use weekly, I wouldn't say daily, but weekly, is a small pair of scissors, because I don't know why, but my eyebrow hairs grow rather quickly and curly, because clearly I have curly hair. I don't know if anyone else is like that, but I'll just go in, brush it up with the spoolie and get like any super strays. That way I can fill in my brows how I want. And then tweezers. So any like large hairs, I'll just go in that, are kind of messing up the shape of my brow, and go in with that really quick. Next up, I will talk about, let's see. Now these, I'm not going to do one with these. Maybe I'll do it at a different time. You can let me know if you want me to. But these are just eyebrow pencils. And so I have an e.l.f. here. I have the Brow Is by Anastasia. I have the Precisely Brow Pencil. And I also have the Brow Definer by Anastasia. My two favorites, which are probably tied, is honestly the e.l.f. and the Brow Is. I like the Precisely My Brow, but it is very dry. I kind of feel like I have to dig, and I'm almost afraid that I'm going to break it when I'm using it. I do like this. It's nothing wrong with the formula, but for me, I know a lot of people love the shape of this. Spoolie. It's cool. It looks different. But for me, it's just too big of a tip. And it just can mess up my brow if I just even go a little bit outside the line. So I like something for a pencil to be a little bit more precise, like the Brow Is. See how small that is? I just think it works a little bit better. So depending on your technique and how you do it, you'll figure out which one is quickest for you. If I use something like this is a really creamy pencil, the e.l.f. one, I can do this very quickly. But I think that most people, you know, are aware of brow pencils the most, and they're more scared to use a brush to put on their pencils, or to put on their brows. And I know that I was. Like, I'm much more comfortable with a pencil. At least I was. But now using the brows more, I'm a lot more comfortable. And so the pomade that I use is the Anastasia Dip Brow in Ebony. That's my color, and I know that's really dark. It's one of their darkest colors, and I'm blonde and I go bleach blonde, but this one just blends in the best with my brows, and I don't know why. It's probably because I'm Italian and I dye my hair and I'm really brunette. But anyways, the powders that I like is the Anastasia Brow in dark brown, and this is a duo, so you get two colors in here where you can lighten and use a darker color. And so I really do like that formula, but my favorite and most diehard is $5, and this is the Wet n Wild Eyebrow Stencil Kit. And it honestly, like, I have never used a brow product more than this, and it's my first one, and I mean, it is seriously indented. I've been using this for probably 8 months now, almost daily, and I just love it. I just know I'm always gonna get a good one. I just, honestly, test it out. It's $5. You'll love it too, I promise. So I'm gonna do 1/2 with a powder and 1/2 with the pomade, so you can kind of see the techniques. But I will be right back. I'm gonna put on some like a headband so I can keep my hair on my face and you guys can really see what's going on. Really quickly before I get started, I kind of forgot to show a couple eyebrow gels. So one that I like is by Wet n Wild, the Ultimate Brow Mascara. This is a dark brown, just in case I don't have time to really do my brows that day. I can put in a little brow gel and add some color in there. Another one that I like is the Milani Easy Brow Tinted Fiber Gel, and that's kind of the same concept. I don't know why it's not focusing, but sorry. The third one that I love and is my favorite, and I've seriously worn off all the lettering, is the Anastasia Brow Gel, and it's clear. I like the clear one, and it just holds so well in place and it lasts forever. It doesn't smell like anything. And finally, the last thing is a brow eye highlighter. I kind of use this as a concealer to correct any outside lines that I kind of went over and stuff. So something like this can be handy, but you can also use concealer, which I do all the time. But something like this in a pencil form is easy. This one is from Milani as well. So lots of drugstore stuff and lots of Anastasia. You know, it's kind of how it rolls with my brow game. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is spoolie my brows and see if there's anything. So I'll kind of go like this. I'm going to do the powder on this side. So there is some hairs just going up a little bit, so I'll just trim those a little bit, not too much. You know, you don't want to look bald in your brows. And we like some fullness, so you know, go down, see if there's any crazy stragglers. See on the end here, once it starts to like really curl, that is an indication to me that it needs to go. I'll just do the other brow at the same time. This one will be the pomade. I always want to say Pompeii. I'll go to Pompeii. Who wants to pay for me to go to Pompeii? I'll just move there. I mean, I'd have to be homeless because it is like an ancient Roman city that kind of is stuck in time, you know. Beautiful. Roman, Italian. Who am I? Get any stragglers. And then I'll just comb it out. Like up and out is kind of how I like to spoolie my brows. Then I'll look for any kind of really heavy or dark ones to pluck. I actually don't ever get my brows waxed. The last time I got it waxed was probably 10 years ago. Not because it hurts. That's not why. It is because it's money, and I feel like since I'm gonna fill them in anyway, it's money that's just not needed to be spent, honestly. Okay. So we clean them up a little bit. And now I'm going to take my flat edge brush for the powder and just dip it in, go back and forth. The great thing about brow powders is that they're usually not overpowering in pigment. So it looks natural. Even though this is a very dark brown to black, it will read natural. It's not going to look overpowering like the pomade can if you don't watch it. So what I do, everyone is so different with this, but the idea is the end result. A lot of people will say start at the tail, start by outlining. I just do whatever I feel like in that moment. And as long as I end up at the end result that I want, then it's all good, right? I mean, who cares how you get there? It's the end that matters, all right? Okay, so I'm just going to start down here and lightly go up through the brow. And I try to go the way the hair goes. So I'm going up in the corner here. And then, you know, and it's kind of the same with the pomade. Pomade. Say it, Leesa, pomade. And I'll just keep using this until I feel like there's no more powder. Because you don't want to keep going and going over the same spot, because then some spots are going to be darker than others. So, and I'm pressing this very lightly. You don't need a heavy hand. And don't worry, any mistakes will be dealt with the concealer. Okay, so then I kind of ignore the middle part usually, and I go towards the tail once I do the front, and then I'll kind of connect them later on. So I'll, you know, kind of put it where I want it to end and just drag a little bit in soft strokes. I think that looks good. So I'll just go up, and I'll go up and up. So I start from one end, go to the middle, start from one end, go to the middle, and they'll meet. Now I'll take this and go where I want my arch to be, which makes sense, like right about here, right? So just drag that down. And we'll round it out. And you just want to have a light hand, because brows really do shape the face, and they really set a stone for your eyeshadow, your cheekbones, just your forehead. I mean, they really are so important. So it's better to go lighter, because you can always go darker. It can be quite hard sometimes if you mess up your brow to fix it sometimes. So I'll just kind of go in, and since there's like no hair up here, because it doesn't grow up here for some reason, I'll just keep, and I do like a nice rounded shape right here. You can do it as pointy as you want, as round as you want. It really doesn't matter. And I'll just keep going in, darken the spots that I feel are way too light, and then I'll go under here, because I didn't do under here yet. And fill this in. You just have to be patient, and the more you do it, the better you will get. I know that sounds so annoying and so cliche, but seriously, I was terrified of doing brows. I was like, what the hell? I will never do brows. Just leave the brows alone. And now I don't care what I'm doing. I kind of don't wear foundation. I haven't been wearing foundation that much every day. Like, I'm kind of to the point where, especially for work in the morning, like, I do not have like the most glamorous job ever. I don't need a full face of foundation. So I'll just conceal what I need to under the eyes or a pimple and leave it at that. Now, if I have really bad breakouts, then that's a different story. But you know, but the one thing I do need is my brows. So it was kind of killer today that I couldn't go to work with brows on, because I knew I was doing this video later. but we survived. Okay, now the overall shape is done. Quite the difference, right? We'll just comb it out to just lighten it up a little bit with the spoolie. See, I feel like we lost a little bit of the shape up front, so I'm just going to fill that back in a little bit. My boyfriend is watching Buffy right now. I always tell him you have to put something on so you can't hear me talk alone in a room by myself because that makes me feel weird. So here it is. And I know like it looks insanely thick right now because I haven't done the other brow, but this is the difference. And honestly, I like the thicker, fluffier brow. So we'll see. And we can, you know, if you don't like it, don't do it as thick. But that's kind of my general how I do my brows with powder. So there's the powder side. Now that we have the powder side done, I'm going to do the pomade side. And I am way better at powder than pomade, so bear with me because I'm still getting quite used to it. But the first thing I'm going to do is brush through my brow and set it the way that I want. And remember, seriously, the best advice I can give about brows is these are sisters, not twins. I know you hear about that all the time, and you're going to go and you're going to try desperately to make them both look exactly alike. Don't do it. Don't do it. If one's a little more pointed, one's a little more curved. If one's a little bit longer, one's a little bit shorter. If one's a little bit... Don't kill yourself over it, because at the end of the day, no one's going to notice but you. You will kill yourself trying to make them even. It's like people treat it like they do the cat eye. Don't do that, okay? So we're just going to comb this out. And pomade is a little bit wetter of a formula. If you can see that kind of gloss to it. And it's very pigmented. So as you can see, I have little, you know, stippling on here. I will dip it in a little bit, very lightly, and then stipple it on there a little bit so it's not as dark going onto my brow, because sometimes those lines can be pretty hard. So I do the same thing over here, and so let's start down here. Do you see how that's a line? This is way different than the powder, guys. So I'll kind of brush this through, and it's good to just brush through with the pomade so that, like, as you're going, instead of at the end, just so nothing's too harsh. Pick up a little bit more, and then I'll outline the top. And just go super soft. And then not picking up more, I'm going to lean the brush up so I can do the hairs. Take your time, especially with starting this. If you know that you don't have time for work to start this and really test it out and get used to it, do it only on the weekend. And then when you get more and more comfortable on the weekend, try it before work. That's what I do. Okay, I'm going to pick up a little bit more, fill more in. I'm going very light. I'm not pressing it in. There's nothing you really want to, when you're doing your makeup, eyeshadow, eyeliner, there's nothing you want to like jam into your face. Okay, it's light. Generally when people talk about Instagram brows, I feel like they're generally using a pomade to really get that outline effect. You know how it's like just a harsh line all the way around the brow. But as you can see, you can really make it soft. It doesn't have to be a thick, harsh line. Okay, I'm gonna do the end. You can kind of look at the side for reference, but don't kill yourself. So just gonna put my brush down like I did on the other side and drag down just a little and make little brush strokes going up. A lot of people might start at one end, go towards the other, do brush strokes going down. I tend to go up. That's just how I do it. You can figure out how you like it. And I'll fill in with any extra, you know, when I don't like how this is just a little bit harsh at the end, so I'll take my spoolie and kind of dye that down a little bit, that harshness. As you can see, that works pretty well. I mean, this pomade is going to last me forever. Okay, so I'm going to look at the other brow. And look at this. I'm missing the curve. So I'm just going to kind of drag this across. And again, I'm not going to kill myself over it. It might not be even. It might be more rounded than the other. It might be thicker. It's also something we can try to fix with concealer. I think concealer is a girl's best friend. Seriously, it can fix. It's like a magic eraser. And we'll just curve like we did with the other one. All right. I'm just gonna go under, tighten that up a little bit. Can lead my head back a little so I can see the bottom of the brow just a little bit easier. Fill it in. See, you can see how this is much more darker and defined, even though I'm going lighter, and this one isn't as defined. So, I also see this one has a little bit more of an arch. So I'm going to bring that arch down just a little bit. Some days I like big arches, some days I don't need big arches. So, there is kind of the difference. I know it looks really drastic right now, but that's okay. So I'm going to comb through this one. Pomade doesn't come off as easy as the powder. So here's the difference. You can see this, you know, is something much more stark, dark, defined. This one's a little bit more natural. You know, you choose for the day. A lot of times on the weekend I'll wear this, and during work days I'll wear this. You know, it really just depends. So it's whatever you like, but that's kind of how I do the pomade versus the brow. Very same, pretty much the same strokes, the same order. It's just the angle of the brush for me. So that is kind of it. I'm going to do the other brow with the pomade and be right back so I don't look so odd. I am back just to finish things up really quick, but I did the pomades. See, it doesn't look so weird now. And I put on red lipstick. One thing I love is when I wear really dark, really striking eyebrows to really keep the eyes at bay, keep some light blush, of course highlighter, but to do a nice bright red lip. I just think it is so classy. So I could take these off right now. Just so like glamorous and classic Hollywood to just have the like nice dark brow with the red lipstick. So just to go over some things really quick. So if you wanted to clean anything up, you know, here is a concealer And, you know, it's a little dark right here. You just go in with the pencil, or, you know, I think it's a little messy under here. You can go in with the pencil. See that? And you do the same thing with a concealer wand, and then just use a concealer brush and blend it in. And there you kind of have it. And then the last and final thing you do is the gel, and you just brush it lightly through. Make sure you set the brow pieces how you want. And the great thing about this is that I never noticed the Anastasia brow gel taking off what I've already put on, you know, which is really quite important, because you don't want all that work to go away. So this is the final product. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this is helpful. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you did enjoy this or this was helpful at all. Let me know any tips and tricks you have for your brows. I would love to know. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye. Have a wonderful night.